but if you watch her in the replay, look how far out the Kilkenny full back line are. And what Tipperary are doing all the time is they're moving around, moving out the field, and their backs are following them. And Lara Corbett is 6'3", gets isolated on the edge of the square. Here you see Garrod Ryan again, great ball in, and Noel McGrath makes a great catch. Look at again, there's where the Tipperary forwards have pulled the Kilkenny backs way out the field and left all the room in the world for Lara Corbett, who's supposed to be playing left corner forward, but he has ran maybe 40-50 yards around to get into that position. And the same against Waterford earlier in the championship, they did the same thing. But interestingly, the last day, Dublin dropped a man back. They held their position to close the space, and Tipperary really didn't know what to do to counteract it.
But what happens then? I mean, that's illustrated very well, but Cyril, you're saying, so they pull back the lines, the full back line is deep.
I think they'll have
what if Tip ramble out? I mean,
they'll ramble out, but they won't score goals in 60 yards out days. Like Lara Corbett won't score goals. I was impressed with Kilkenny this year. First game out against Wexford below in Wexford Park. Wexford had roughly 20,000 people there. It was a real contest. Now, Wexford didn't play well, but physically they tried to kind of man Kilkenny. But as it went on, Kilkenny got completely on top. And from that day on, they got the next game against Dublin, which they needed. They seem to have got a bit better and better. OK, a bit of injuries now, but they will have learned from last year. They will not be dragged out. You'll find that from Hurling goals, he won't allow the backs to go, because he'd say, OK, they can score a pie from 60 yards, but they won't get the goals. And even last year, like Brian Hogan was missing last year, you know, Michael Rice wasn't playing. They'll fancy their chances if they can stop Tip from scoring the goals.
all right, then I'm going to ask each of you for your prediction then. Cyril.
Well, even though Tipper favourites in the bookies and everyone will be tipping them to win, and they could be going for 3 in a row, I just have the feeling that Kilkenny will edge this one by a point. Now, it's a long time since we had a draw, but I think Kilkenny just get there by a point or two.
All right, Michael?
Yeah, I expect a huge display for Kilkenny. I know they've been training since way back before Christmas. They went on their team holiday last November, put in a massive effort, and I'd agree with Cyril. I think, particularly against Dublin, I think they were hugely impressive. They made Dublin look very average in the Leinster final, whereas Tipperary struggled over Dublin. But I think it's the ideal way for Tipperary to go into the final. The whole focus has gone off them. You know, after the Waterford display, there was a lot of hype about them. That's gone now, and I expect, as I said earlier, I think in the last 15 minutes, Tip to have the legs on them, and after an unmerciful battle, I expect Tip to win it by a few points.
OK, you're making me look forward to it already. It'll be quite a week looking ahead.